Hey, hey, I'm here again. Hopefully everything is resolved. Hi, everybody. If you can see me and you can hear me, please let me know. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Didn't expect this. The wonders of technology, they're great at times, but then there's things like this. So please let me know if you can see and hear me. Just leave me a comment. Say if you can hear me, see me, let me know if you're there, so I'll know everything's working okay. It loaded up pretty quickly on my end this time, and everything looks solid. So just let me know, okay? I'm gonna check one more place. Check with, let's see. Let me check here. In fact, I'll just send a message. I'm gonna do that right now, okay? So please bear with me. See if she can see me now. And anybody else that may be trying, okay? Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm on now. Let me know if you can see me, please. I guess I'm getting a message. Did I have any luck? So I don't know if there's a delay or what. Because I see it, it's running and everything. So please let me know. And I'll check this setting here. Maybe the traffic is higher tonight at this time. I wanted to do it for convenience for everybody, but maybe this is not ideal as a result. This might not be the best time. So let's see what's happening here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I want to make sure I get this up for you. So I'm gonna at least go ahead and if so, I can always try again tomorrow, but I definitely want to get this out there for you tonight. So basically, I just want to welcome you and thank you for joining me. You know, like I said, hopefully you can see me. It says it's on my page, so hopefully things are going. So my name is Yolanda, and Yolanda Ransom, and what I am is I'm a financial coach. And what I do is I work with clients. I help them to master, whether individuals or groups, I help them to master money management skills, new ones. Wonderful. Thank you. So glad you're here. Yay. Wonderful. And how does everything look? Does it look okay? Let me know, please, be. Okay. Yeah, so my signal looks good on this end. So anyway, I'm a financial coach, and like I said, that's what I help people do. I help people basically so that they can live their dreams. That's the whole idea. That's why I help, and that's why basically, isn't that why we try to get help with our finances, right? So that we can live our dreams. So tonight, I'm doing a series. This is a 3-part series, and this is part 2. So the whole series is basically 3 steps to save money. Wonderful. Thank you. Love it. She says it looks good, sounds excellent. Yay! Okay, this series is 3 steps basically to save money for your dreams and not go broke, right? So because nobody wants to go broke. So yesterday I did the first part, and I have some notes. I'm going to check my notes tonight because I have a lot of good stuff to tell you, right? So today I'm doing part 2. Part 2 of the series is the 2 things that you need to avoid going broke, right? So there's 2 things. There's 2 important things that you need. And yesterday I mentioned at the end of part 1, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. I mentioned that going broke is a really big fear for a lot of us, right? After all our hard work, right? We put in the time at our jobs. We try to get our education. We put in all these efforts, and then the thing that is so scary is that we're worried about losing all of that, right? I mean, am I right? Is that something you can relate to too? People are really worried about this, and then some people, they're aware of it, consciously. I'm one of these people. I have the same fear. That's why I take the steps that I do so that I don't end up broke. I'm actively trying to plan against that. So, but a lot of us know it, think it, and then some of us don't. But it's something that's underneath, that we're not maybe aware of, but it's like, underneath. It's in the recesses of our mind, making us really, really upset and worried about things. And just for you, like, you could just put yes. Just let me know, yes or no. Is this something that you ever had that thought, or is that something that you fear ending up broke? If so, just say yes or no. You don't have to go into detail unless you want to, but let me know if that's something you can relate to too. Okay, so because the thing is, what I'm going to talk about is the two things that you need to avoid that, right? Yes, me too. Yeah, definitely. Yep, got you. And when you may think about the future, but do you ever think to yourself, like what I'm saying, like do you ever think what you're specifically worried about is ending up broke? Is that something that crosses your mind? You can say yes or no if you want. But or is it more just general worries that you worry about? B. I know there's a little lag here too, so you can let me know. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about those two things that you need, right? And what I found with these two things is that with the right information and a willingness, to stick with a strategy, it's easy to build the two things that you need. And so it's pretty easy once you do that. So I'm going to start with an article though, okay? Because I think this is important. And it's I read this article and I shared it. Yes, I got you. Yep, exactly. Yep, got it. I understand. Yes, that happens to all of us. Yep, right. Because they're there. They continue and they never go away. So so that's where the shortage and the fear of ending up broke comes in. And but I'm going to tell you about the article that I read. I shared it. I share some financial tips commonly, like often throughout the day, and I found a Forbes article, and it talked about the biggest financial regrets that Americans have, right? And in the study, they said that 75% of those that they surveyed had some type of financial regret. So now this is 3/4 of the people. Only 17% said they had none at all. It was a small group, 17%. But out of that group that said they had financial regrets, there was one that was top. It was a top one for most people in the survey. And I just want to ask you, before I tell you what it is, can you guess what it is? Let me know what you think that top financial regret was. And please just post, put a comment there and let me know what you think it was. So they had, 75% of people had a financial regret, and there was one that they said was the top one that kept coming up as what people said was their biggest financial regret. And I just want to know what you think it was. If you could just leave me a note here, a little comment, let me know. Okay. I don't see anything, but I'm going to move forward. Maybe you're thinking about it still, so I'll give you a little more time, okay? This was what the number one regret was. It was, yes, you got it. That is it, B. Yep, exactly. Exactly. No, it was actually your first one, not saving. That is it. That was the number one financial regret. Yep. And you got it. You got it. That's it. And what happened was now the number one regret was retirement, not saving enough for retirement. But along with that was also not saving enough for emergencies. So you hit it on the head. It's savings. Those were the two areas. And And guess what? That happens to be the two things that you need to avoid going broke. Those are the two things right there. Yep, yep, exactly. I get it too. Yep, it's you're not alone. You're not alone at all. You're not alone at all, truthfully. And then the thing is, so the first thing you need, right, to avoid going broke, to avoid ending up broke, is well-funded savings accounts, right, so that you have savings for emergencies and savings for short-term goals that you have, like maybe saving for Christmas, things like that, or I don't know, saving for something that you want to get shorter term, and then you have longer term goals or dreams, or for instance, another one that may be longer term, like you want to save if you want to move, right? Because we all know how it is these days, right? When you move, it's whether you're buying a home, right? Whether you're buying a condo, you need a lot of money usually for your down payment, and if you're just moving into an apartment, right? Even an apartment, you need a lot of money, right? Because you need first month's rent, you need that deposit. Then a lot of times, I don't know if you've noticed this, but when I was looking for an apartment at one time, we pretty much ended up going through realtors all the time. And what happens is you have to pay them a month's rent, and then don't forget moving. So these are short-term or longer-term goals. These are all things that you want to build up your savings for, right? And so that's the first one. You need the savings, different types of savings. And then number two is a well-funded retirement account. So those are the two things that you need. And that will help you because one helps you presently, so you don't end up with no money. And the other one helps you after long term in your future. And so does that make sense to you that those are the two things that, yeah, yeah, it all adds up fast. Yep. And so does that make sense that those are the two things that you need? Savings funds, and also a retirement fund. Does that make a lot of sense? Just let me know what you think, or if you think it might be something else. But those are the two things that that will help you avoid ending up broke. And let me know if you agree or you think it's something else. Okay? Yeah. And so, so I want to tell you a story about that, right? Because it makes sense to me that those are the two things. And I've worked with many clients, right? And that's that their fear was ending up broke, and some of them were actually dealing with being broke, right, at that time, right? So of course, if that's how you are now, you don't really see a way where your future will be any different. So of course their fear was also ending up that way, right? So I work with the clients because they had regrets about what direction they were heading in. And so I'm going to tell you a story about a client just to help you understand it a little better, okay? So there's one of my clients, and he's middle-aged. So get that, he's not 20, he's not 30, he's middle-aged, right? So he's been working for many years, and he's pretty well along the path here, right? So and he was working, and up till a few years ago, he had no money saved, zero money saved. And it wasn't that he didn't have a job, because he worked every year after year after year. He was working, but the thing was, he wasn't really thinking about retirement. It wasn't on the forefront of his mind. So, and the thing is, he came from a lower income background, and so his thing was, he was making good money, and he wanted to enjoy his money, and he wanted to buy the things he liked and enjoy it, right? And I just want to stress to you that I want to make this clear. There is nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with buying things that you enjoy, enjoying your money, spending it on things you like. There's nothing wrong with that. See, but the only problem here was that he hadn't built up any savings. He hadn't built up anything to help him weather any setbacks, like losing his job or any kind of emergencies that might come up. And he also hadn't set aside any money for his retirement. And so one thing too is like Social Security, right? A lot of people think, well, I'll just rely on Social Security. Is that something maybe you think too? A lot of people think, I'll have Social Security when I get there. And this is the thing, Social Security is based on what you earn admit you probably a lot of you already noticed, is based on what you earn and how many years you work. So depending on how much you earn and how many years you work, you may not get that much. And honestly, as we see, a lot of people really can't get by on Social Security, you know, and this is just my opinion only, but I have some concerns about it being there when it's time for me to retire, right? So that's why I always encourage and I always tell clients, you know what, and everyone I work with, you know, make this happen for yourself. Build it up for yourself so that you know, because even if you do end up, and Social Security is still there for us, even if it's still there, yeah, it's exactly. Yeah, it's not. Exactly. Exactly. So security is yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to that. So I don't rely on that. I personally don't. That's why I work to be self-sufficient. And that's what I help others to do. I'm like, look, even if you get a little bit, you don't want to be that person, which a lot of us have seen, that's barely getting by. You know, you're barely getting by. You can't afford much. The bare minimum, you can't even, yes, exactly. It's I think that is so sad when I see that. A lot of people are still working past retirement because it's not enough. And it's like, isn't that heartbreaking? It's heartbreaking because it's like you work your whole, like I said yesterday, I've been working since I was 12. You know, I really do not want to keep working past 67, 68, 69, 70. You know what I mean? After working so many years, you don't want to be in that situation. Am I right? You don't really want that to be you because you don't have enough money saved up and you don't have enough set aside. And the thing is, in retirement, you want to be able to keep your standard of living or have a better one, right? Am I right? Like, if you know, if you agree, you let me know. But I know that's what I'm thinking. I want to be happier, or at least happy, or happier than I am right now. So this is the thing. When I worked with him, like I said, he hadn't put any money aside, and what we did was he got concerned. You know, he got concerned about his lack of preparation for his future, so he came to work with me. And see, by working with him, what we did was I helped him work on his plan and his goals regularly, so he was able to change what he was doing. And guess what? Guess what? He has saved thousands for his retirement. He has saved thousands in his personal savings, and he's continuing to do that, and it's building, and he's still working, so he's still able to continue doing that. So the thing is that he started late, but it's still possible. You know, he's currently working, he's earning at his new job, and he's still building up that money. And so, and he's still spending on stuff he likes too, because again, you should enjoy that money, but you want to make sure that those two things are also taken care of, right? And so does this sound like something you think is possible for you? Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's in a greater place. He's much happier. Yeah, a lot more mental. Yeah, it's fantastic. More peace of mind. Right, right. Yep. So do you think that's something that would be possible for you as well? Do you think that you would be able to, you know, put those two things into place for yourself? Because you can, you know, it is possible. It is really possible. Like I said, with a plan. And this is something I just want to bring up a couple more things for you, just to let you know before we wind it down tonight. There's the emergency fund and Social Security. These things are really critical for us as women of color because Black Enterprise, they stated that Black women are behind in retirement. We're further behind in retirement savings than any other group. And we're more likely to face poverty during retirement. And I don't know about you, but I find that quite concerning, right? Do you? That was like, wow. I mean, that's not a hopeful thing. And the Amsterdam News, I don't know if you're familiar with that paper as well. The Amsterdam News said, yeah, yep, yes, sounds great. Exactly. Hey, hi, Dominique. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, yeah, you are right. Yeah, exactly. You want to enjoy your life, but you still need to think about past now because again, that's unfortunately, um, Yeah, meeting that goal of saving. That sounds good. That sounds good, and it's possible. And that is one of the two things that you need to avoid ending up broke. Because the thing is that Amsterdam News said that people are not taking Black people. Talking about us, they said that people aren't taking the basic steps for retirement. You know, they're not doing the basic. They said basic too. So they're not meeting with financial professionals or getting the help that they need so that they can put these two things in place so they have strong savings. There's a lot of things that impact us, but there are basic things that we can do. And one of the things I want to tell you and I want to stress to you is that a lot of people do this. They underestimate the value of small steps. That's the thing. I want to stress to you that by putting into place savings, a well-funded savings and well-funded retirement, you can start with small steps. The key thing is make them consistent. You take small, consistent actions to create both. And then have you ever started anything off like small, like maybe exercising a little bit and then picking up? Has anyone ever done that where you start off small and then you start to see some little results? So then you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you start like ramping it up because you're really happy about the results. Have you seen that in your life? Because just let me you put a yes or a no. Just let me know if you can relate to that, because that's something that, yeah, exactly. Yes, yes, yeah, I got you. Yes, exactly. And that's the thing. The key thing is, yes, I know what you're talking about. The key thing with the savings is consistency, and that's what can be put into place with a strategy, a plan, so you have a consistent setup. So that's the thing. And so I just want to encourage you on that point, because if you keep taking these small steps, and then you can keep building on that. And I know you came in now, Dominique. I don't know how much you heard, but I had a late start anyway. I had some little issues, but with the internet and all of that. But do either of you have questions? Does anyone have questions or comments or anything they would like to tell me tonight? And again, we have a little delay, so I just wait a minute or two. Yeah, so again, I'm going to say again that those two things that you need to avoid ending up broke is, yep, great. Sounds great, Dominique. Sounds great. You can look it over later. But yeah, those two things I mentioned, they're well-funded savings, retirement, and those, because, and if you think about it, and I would like you to do that. Just really think about that. Do you think that makes sense? That, yes, I got you. Yeah. Okay, I understand that. I tried to make it a little later, Dominique, for everyone. I was hoping this, but I'm glad you made it anyway. Later, I put it later. But just you think about that, okay? You let me know what you think, and if you think those two things are what will work, because I know it. I know that's what you need. I know that you will not end up broke if you have these two things in place. And then it just takes getting a plan to put these two things into place. And so if you have any questions, let me know, but I'm going to wrap it up here. So tomorrow will be the last part 3 of the series tomorrow. And finally, I'm going to talk about the surefire method to save thousands so you can live your dreams, even if you've tried and failed before. Even if you tried and failed, because there are things that you can do that can guarantee, or pretty much, let's say, where you can make sure, okay, because action is what makes these things come true. But there are things where you can make sure that you'll successfully save, and I'm going to show you what works, okay? So that will be part 3 tomorrow. And today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that link up for you. Sounds good. I like that little image. Let me get this link for you now, okay? And I'm going to paste it. So you just click on this and it'll remind you tomorrow. Okay, let me get that for you. 1 second while I pull that up. and I'll paste it for you here. And then tomorrow, you'll know. It's going to be the same time. I'm going to do it at 8 o'clock again. So that way, you know, hopefully I will not have the same issues. But I'm going to do this at 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock, sorry, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Yes, great, great. I know you do. I know you do. And I really appreciate it. So, yep, I'm putting the link here for you. Okay, so one more second, and there we go. Yes, great, great. I'm glad you will be. I really appreciate it. Let me scroll back up here so I can see the comments. Let me remove the previews, and I can see you. Okay, great. Okay, good. And so I really enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you. Thank you for your patience tonight. Thank you for being here with me. Great. I'm glad. I wanted to be helpful to you. I'm very, very grateful for that. And please share this with anyone that you think it will help, okay? And let them know. I'll be doing part 3 tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Hopefully no problems here. And so I hope you have a lovely evening, okay? And good night, and thank you for joining me, all right? Good night.